guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this week's Q&A video, which is a day or two actually later than it usually is, purely because it was my first wedding anniversary with Simon, my husband, on Monday. So it's a little bit late because we've been enjoying one another's company. I just had a little bit of a break. This week's Q&A video, I'm going to tell you all about the erasers that I use, and I use two different kinds, and that's basically it. I used to use a combination of a lot of erasers, but I've started to just use two main ones. Quite short, this little Q&A, so let's get into it. So the main eraser which I use, and this one is mainly for erasing the outlines of a portrait. So when I've drawn it all out and it's all nice and graphite-y, and there's nice clean outline, when it comes to adding colour over the top of that graphite, because I like to erase it rather than draw over the top, to erase that primary graphite lineness, I use this thing. I use that, and that is a Caran, I call it the triangular eraser, but it's just a little triangle. This is really well used, but basically this is what I use for erasing the outlines, like the primary graphite line of a portrait. It's quite soft as well. It's quite like malleable. It's not really soft and really malleable like a putty rubber, but it's not really hard like a plastic eraser. It's sort of in the middle there, so it's really nice to use on the Fabriano paper which I use. And the other type of eraser, I actually use two, but they're the same kind, they're just different shapes, and you have probably heard me mention these a lot in the past because I rave on about them all the time, and that is these guys. So they are Tomboy monoplastic erasers. I'll read you what's on them. You probably saw in the little thing, but it's a Elastomer eraser mono zero Tomboy. So they are like the really hard plasticky rubbers that you'd normally find in a lot of primary schools or just schools in general. They're really hard, like a Stadelta rubber. If anybody's ever tried a Stadelta Mars plastic rubber, exactly the same sort of material as that. And I have one with a rectangular tip, which is this white one, and I also have one with a round tip, which is this one, which is my black one. And I use them both. I mainly use these for erasing tiny little bits of my coloured pencil which the big Caran eraser can't get to. And I also use them when I'm doing whiskers and things like that, but mainly just to lift a little bit of colour where I need to in a piece. Often I also use these for erasing outlines. If I've got a tiny little bit of an outline that I want to erase that my Caran triangular eraser can't reach, so instead of erasing the whole lot, I'll go in with probably this one is most likely my favourite, the circular one. I will go in and use that circular eraser to erase a tiny little bit of the outline with that. So these are the only erasers which I use in my work at the moment. I used to use a Derwent electric eraser, but I don't know, I've just sort of gone off that, so I don't really use that so much anymore. It's still sitting in my pot over there, but I don't tend to use it on my drawings at the moment. It's just these guys. These ones are my favourite, and I'm finding a lot of my favourite materials and just sort of sticking to them at the moment, so there you go. As I said at the beginning, it's just going to be nice and short just to tell you that they are the tools, erasers that I use for my pet portrait and wildlife work. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel and follow me on all of my social media sites. I absolutely love to hear from you and answer any questions that you may have. And until next week, guys, with another Q&A video, I'll see you later. Bye!